Okay, we're going right into Epstein. Thomas Massie has come out and said he will go nuclear and reveal Epstein client names if they're unredacted. And to Thomas Massie, I say, okay, buddy, do it. Do it. What are you so afraid of? Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Massie and Ro Khanna and several other congressmen today went into a private room and got to view the files unredacted. Lauren Boebert spotted walking away saying this is so disgusting. They get to go back tomorrow. They get 2 hours at a time. Thomas Massie going in, looking at the unredacted files. He came out and this is all he had to say about it. Come on, load. You know you want to. All right. The names of at least 6 men were redacted in the Epstein files, according to Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. Massie claims one is pretty high up in a foreign government. Really? Is that all you got to say? I thought you had some receipts, buddy. I thought you had something big. This is not that exciting. See, there is stuff in there that's going to be shocking, but the truth is I don't think it's going to be that shocking for Americans. I think we've seen most of the names of the people on our side. There'll still be some stuff to come out. Don't get me wrong. We're going to find out as this all unfolds, and I do believe it will unfold more and more over time, especially as investigations go up. And listen, I don't like the redactions, but I also have a feeling that the Trump administration is using these to some effect. For one thing, look at this. Ro Khanna, who hates Donald Trump, hates MAGA, came out today and he said, the Epstein fallout could topple the British monarchy. This is after going in and viewing the files unredacted. He says the Epstein scandal is no longer just about disgraced individuals. It threatens the entire British establishment. But hold on. They buried the other headline. This is Ro Khanna admitting they don't have anything else on Trump or anything else on the Trump people. If Ro Khanna, again, super hardcore lefty, basically a commie from California, there he is right there. I can't stand this guy. He's such a fake. But if he comes out after seeing these and all he has to say is that this is bad for the Brits, well, I gotta tell you something. This is the world kind of toppling stuff we saw. But the British monarchy, what have I been telling you guys? British Empire, City of London, the globalist cabal. Yeah. What have we been saying? It's UK centered, City of London. Interesting. Interesting how it all keeps coming back to there. He says this is the most vulnerable British monarchy's ever been. Maybe this will be the end of the monarchy. Khanna points directly to Prince Andrew and Mandelson, calling Epstein files a window into elite impunity. Says stripping titles isn't enough. Silence isn't enough. Says king must answer when he knew and when. Ruh-roh. You know, it's almost like Trump and them knew what they were doing. I don't know, guys. This is really getting interesting. Why, by the way, why is nobody talking about this? I feel like I'm the only one. Now, I know I'm not the only one, but this is not making the rounds in any of the big influencer circles. You would think this is pretty important, calling this out, seeing this, but again, I guess if it's just not handed to some people on a silver platter, like here's everything, they don't do the work. But very interesting how this is unfolding. By the way, a story came out in Forbes today. More vindication for Trump, because Trump called the police about Epstein in 2006, calling Ghislaine Maxwell evil. He was trying to bust him early. Get him, guys. This story goes on to say about Trump saying they knew about the girls. Epstein, you got to get him. You got to make him stop. Yeah, this story actually makes Trump look really good. And you know what the Democrats are already doing? They're already trying to change the narrative and say, oh, this makes Trump, he knew, guys. He knew, he lied. He said he didn't know anything. Oh my God. Yeah, they're trying to spin it when actually what it's doing is vindicating Trump. How can you make it a bad thing that Trump was actually trying to turn Epstein in 2006, calling him evil? I don't know, but that's what they're trying to do. Give it to them to try to spin everything anti-Trump, even when it's so clearly a good thing. And finally, right here, Look at this. Jamie Raskin. I'm not going to play his voice because it's pathetic and horrible, and you guys all know that. But look at what he says here. Jamie Raskin, he went in and saw the unredacted files as well. Says Epstein survivors are accusing the Trump administration of threatening victims by releasing unredacted names. Really? Threatening the victims. Does this sound like a panic attack or what? A lot of the survivors believe a deliberate threat to other survivors thinking about coming forward. They need to be careful because they can be exposed, have their personal information drive through the mud as well. Yeah, right after viewing the unredacted files. You know what this tells me? Well, Brian Cates gets it right out, knocks it out of the park. Watch the panic escalate. They're getting exactly what they demanded. Unredacted files they can view in the congressional SCIF, and Raskin now saying this, which is pure panic. You know, the truth is, many of the people who are quote unquote victims, first of all, there is a lot of, now I got to preface this because I don't want to get in trouble here. There are a lot of real victims. Okay. A lot. Many of them have come out. They've bravely gone to court. They've been paid out from the Epstein estate, 100-some million, and then from JP Morgan Chase, I think all total $450 million has been paid to the actual victims. So there are a lot of victims, and I'm sure because of that payout, some of them are under NDAs and stuff. But here's the other thing. With all of America watching, this is the safest time ever to come out and say stuff if you need to. You have on the Hill, you have the official Thomas Massie, the hero, leading the charge, bringing all this up. So you have Congress. They're not going to do anything to hurt you. You have Elon Musk, like Cassink writes in the chat, Elon Musk offering to cover any of their legal expenses. You have all of America basically knowing if anything happened and one of these victims has stood out, we're going to be very, very iffy on that. So you have all that going on. It's the safest time ever for the victims to actually come out. Why aren't they? Why aren't more victims coming out? Because a lot of them are fakes. A lot of the real ones have already been paid out. They're just happy the files are coming out. And then also, there's a lot of victims who actually were girls helping recruit the other girls. They were working for Epstein. And now they're in the files as quote unquote their names. They're claiming to be victims just because they were young girls, but they weren't underage. Some of these girls knew what they were doing. Ghislaine was a known groomer. She groomed these girls to go get other girls. Some of them were working for Epstein, and now but they can't go on record, because if they do, and then they start getting dug into, you find out the truth. So it's much easier for them to stand up. This is a lot of crazy stuff going on, guys. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Lots of layers. But that's what Raskin's talking about, because the Trump administration knows some of these survivors, these victims, are not actually victims. They're working with them. But that's the game he's playing. And we already saw a week ago, ABC News reported that some lawyers are trying to get the DOJ to scrub this from the website. So it's just like we said back in December when Trump said, let it all out. Well, that was the big rug pull. And they ended up getting something they never actually wanted in the first place. So that's the latest updates, guys, on the Epstein files.